morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sandra. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to do a voiceover makeup look today, and I'm decided to use some blue and purples because I wanted to match my shirt, and this was just for fun, but I didn't have a lot of time today, so that's why I wanted to do this quick and not talk during the video. So to prep my skin, I'm using my Caudalie Beauty Elixer. I've talked about this product before. I've seen it used in Hindash's video, and there's something about the product. It's technically a toner. I can't honestly tell you what it does for my skin other than it makes my skin continue to be nice and soft and smooth prior to makeup. It does sit beautifully under makeup. And it has this wonderful herbal scent that just kind of gets me in the zone to do my makeup. So I continue using the product because I love it. I love the smell. For primer, I'm using my favorite that I have not been able to stop using. It was the One Size Secure the Sweat. It's technically formulated for oily skin because it prevents the sweat from ruining your makeup. But I have dry skin, and I can tell you from my viewpoint that it works amazing. Of course, my makeup doesn't go anywhere. Even if I don't use it, my makeup generally doesn't run, but it does break down if I'm dancing or, running around and doing errands. So just like anybody else's makeup. And this product tends to smooth it out, I find. I find that it actually feels good on my skin. It doesn't make it feel tight. Feels really, really nice. For foundation, I decided to blend two colors together because I'm kind of in that transition phase where my skin is really light at this time of year. So we're talking, end of January, beginning of February, really light skin tone, but these two colors just blend together beautifully for my skin color, and it matches my neck perfectly. So I'm using the YSL Touche Eclait BD40 foundation. BD40 is the shade name. Unfortunately, I don't think they have this foundation anymore, but I'm almost finished, and I'm just trying to use up all my products, and that is one of my goals for last year and this year, and it's just really important to me that I use it up. And the other foundation was the Haus Triclone foundation in the shade 190 Light Cool. So for contour, again, going back to one of my favorites, this is the Rare Beauty Liquid Contour in the shade Solace. So as you can see here, I have specific spots on my face that I like to contour, and you have to be careful with how much you apply. So if you apply too much on your cheekbones, it will go down too far, and you don't want your contour reaching too far down your jaw. You want to keep it high, and you want to put your blush right above that so that it looks like you've got these beautiful sculpted cheekbones. I also do my nose, and lately I've been loving using the same color. Sometimes I use my Morphe mini contour stick, which I also love, but I find that the color just wasn't as dark for me that I wanted it to be. So I'm back to my Rare Beauty, and this blends out beautifully. I find that Solace is the perfect shade to be like a shadow instead of like a warming bronze color. And even though I guess it kind of plays a little bit of both, warms up my forehead as well as creates that shadow on my cheeks and my under my lip and on my nose, which I love. And I just feel like it's a really good middle ground for me. I also use my sponge a lot of the time. I have kind of been getting back into my brush, which you're going to see in future videos, but I love my sponge because it just makes everything look seamless. And even if you do use a brush, you can go over with a damp makeup sponge after, and it just makes it look so much better. So next we're doing lips. I decided to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Cool Brown Lip Liner. Again, this has been a constant staple. This color is amazing. I love it. Even though it's brown, I find that it just gives, like when I'm trying to do a neutral lip, it gives my lips the perfect definition, and it gives them like dimension. And I think that's the biggest thing for me. There are makeup looks where I like to just go in with a gloss or go in with a lipstick. But when it comes to lip liner, right now I'm just all over it. I use the YSL Love Shine lip gloss. It was the new one that was released this year. I remember I bought two recent ones, a purple one and this light pink one. And I don't remember the name of it, but it was released at Christmas time. So next, I'm going to show you how I do my full brow routine. I have been loving the Urban Decay Brow Blade in Cool Cookie. And now this pencil is a little bit softer than the Anastasia Beverly Hills. Anastasia is probably one of my favorite brow pencils. However, it's a little bit waxier, which is also what you're going to find if you purchase a drugstore version. I find that the color payoff just isn't there as much, but when you do get a softer pencil, beware because you tend to go through it a little bit quicker. I just find that the color match here is perfect for me, and the shape of the pencil is perfect, and I really do like how soft it is because I can just do my brows that much faster. So I'm currently filling in all of my sparse areas on my brow, trying to make them as even as I can. I already have brows that are uneven, so sometimes I struggle with trying to match them. And I've just kind of concluded that my brows will never look exactly the same. To make sure that this color stays in place, on top of my liner, I use the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Gel. I mean, it's not imperative that you use a brow gel, but I like to use it because my hairs are a little bit longer, and every so often, I'd say maybe once a month, I do trim my brow hairs, and it does tend to make everything easier. So next I'm going in lining my eyes. So I didn't show it here, but I have used the Morphe pencil liner in the shade Fashionista. And it almost looks like this like bright, vibrant, purpley pink color, which is kind of an odd color for liner, I know. But I'm pretty sure I also used the Rare Beauty True Black Gel Liner, the pencil one, to go over top of that. And everything kind of comes together here. So you're going to see shortly how it works together. So this shadow palette is the Nomad Paradise shadow palette. And honestly, I don't think I've played around with it too much. I'm excited to dive back into it for summer. The colors are bright and vibrant and vivid, and it's just really, really pretty. If you find a palette that is like that, I know a lot of people shy away from color. They're more tend to, reach for the browns and the neutrals. But if you do like playing with color, this palette is gorgeous. I find that Nomad has really good shadow pigment, and I do want to get more indie brands in the future. Right now, it hasn't been a thing, an affordable thing, but I will be doing a Beautylish haul eventually, like heading more into spring, and I would like to try out some different brands. So I know Patty, I'm trying to think of her last name now, but she's another makeup YouTuber, and she has got some really good palettes that she uses. So I'm going to take a look and see what else I can find on the market. I know Glaminatrix is one. I know Nomad is one. But there are lots of them. So I'm going to take a look eventually. So we're going into that blue. I mean, you guys, I don't normally use blue shadow because I find it hard to work with. But this look turned out really, really beautiful. Whenever I use blue, I also tend to go into the purples. And again, I'm going to try to match that liner. So you're going to see it here. We're using some Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray to jack up the pigment. I love using setting spray when it comes to sparkly shadows. I find, sorry, I'm just looking at messages that are coming on my phone. Since my work phone died, I have been using my phone, and I should be putting it on silent mode or work mode while I'm working, but it's my only mode of communication while I'm filming. So, but yeah, I do struggle with using blue shadows sometimes. So I use purple to kind of make myself, I don't know, I feel like it's more of a comfort zone type of thing, and it just kind of blends better for me. I know how to work with purple. Blue, I find, is a little bit more difficult to work with. So the setting spray, or if you want to use water, it just tends to bring out the sparkle in the shadow more. It does not work with matte shadow. Please don't try it. It is a big ucky mess. Don't do it. Just take my word for it. But the sparkle shadows just are so much more pigmented when you use either water or setting spray. So next we're using some concealer. You notice I did this after the shadow because I was afraid of fallout. I'm using the Kosas Creamy Revealer Concealer in the shade 04N. And here I am using a brush. This brush, I don't know the name of it, but I did get it from Winners in Red Deer actually. And I liked the idea of having like the dual end, although it's not very good if you want to put it in a makeup cup because you're going to crush the other end. So I usually just lay this down beside my other tools on my desk, and then it's great. But I do have a video coming up where I have used, or no, I lied actually. I did not do a video, but I will do a video where I use the other end for foundation and then this end for concealer. So that's exactly what I do. I apply the foundation with the brush and then I kind of go over everything with a sponge just to make it look seamless and not so heavy and cakey. So I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray here as an all-over setting spray. You will notice I don't use powder, and that is a thing that I have been doing probably for the last year now. I just have gotten away from powder, and I know that everybody swears by it, that if you use a very light setting powder, a very light coat of it, it is amazing to set your makeup. I just have been loving the look of setting sprays. It gives your face that beautiful glow, and maybe my makeup doesn't last as long, but I do find that that primer I used really helps with that. So if you're looking for a glowy look, I would suggest just try using setting spray instead of your powder. As for blush, we're using the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil in the shade Perfect Pink. I felt like Perfect Pink was a better shade rather than a more orangey tone, especially with this shadow look. I find the pink just, I don't know, it's more of those purple undertones in that pink that help with the shadow a little bit. So next I'm going to get ready to, I'm still doing under eye here, but we're going to be getting ready to do liner on the top lash line. In that case, I'm using the Too Faced Better Than Sex Black Liquid Liner. But when I'm applying the lower lash line color here, you're going to see how I mix the blue in with the purple liner. And I'm showing you here, it turns purple. And it was the best combo that I could have used. I thought it was so pretty. And although I don't think I intended for this to be a purple makeup look, I just thought that this was the best thing that ever happened for this look, because that color that it turned into there is my favorite color in the entire world. I just love that violet color. So the next part that happens is going to be fairly quick here. So after we apply the liner, I do pop on mascara. I'm pretty sure I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Exaggerize mascara in this video. I never show that part because I go crazy when it comes to mascara. And then also with lashes, I just pop them on. I wait for the glue to dry. Remember, when you are using lashes, it's imperative that you wait. I think it's at least 30 seconds. But what I do is I put my glue on my lash and then I go and apply my mascara. And I find that it gives the perfect amount of time for your glue to set, and then you apply your lashes, and it's like this happy medium. It can't be too dry because then they won't stick, but it can't be wet because they also don't stick. It just slides around your eye everywhere, makes a big old mess. So remember, at least 30 seconds, if not a little bit more, and it will be perfect. So later on, you'll see I do go in with an actual highlighter to do inner corner highlight, but here I am using this really light blue that I thought was actually more white than it was. It turned out to be really light blue. And I'm just kind of highlighting the inner corner, and I'm pulling the blue shadow from the top lid down to kind of blend with the purple shadow on the bottom lid. And I think this was probably a great idea. It was another happy accident, the same with the purple eyeliner on the bottom. So I think it turned out good. But you'll see later on, I still go in with my highlighter, and we highlight the inner corner and under the brow and stuff. So we're just touching that up. And now we're going to apply liner on the top lash line, mascara, and lashes. You'll see that I'm like, okay, we'll be right back. And there we go. So these lashes are crazy. I'm pretty sure these were my Halloween eyelashes. I just love them. They're so crazy, but I think they just make the look. They're so out there, and I love them. I love them so much. So this highlighter is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Hollywood Glow Glide Face Architect in Champagne Glow. And I wanted to use this because I remember when I was going through my highlight video, I hadn't touched this in forever. I just keep coming back to my Mary Lou by the Balm, which is my all-time favorite. You can find those on Amazon. Occasionally, sometimes they're sold out. I do have a backup because mine is almost gone, which another product that I've used up that I'm so proud of, but it is also my favorite. So I tend to go into it every time I do my makeup. But this one is a really pretty color as well. The color suits my skin. I find that the shine payoff isn't as high as the balm one, but it's also still really nice. So here I'm just touching up. So usually by the time I've got my lashes on, my lips are done, I like to go in and just touch places up on my face that might need it. So like here I'll go in with blush, I'll go in and touch up my eyebrows, I'll go and touch up my lip liner. A lot of times I'll forget to put highlight on my upper, like my Cupid's bow. So I'll have to go back in and touch up the liner there. All right, so now we are going to go in with, I guess I'm going in with my inner corner here. So yeah, I'm using the same product that I used on my cheeks. I just find that it didn't really give as much of a payoff as I thought it was. So last setting spray, and I believe that is it for this look. So, and you know what? I don't think I've talked about this product much. This is the One Size Until Dawn Glitter Spray. This is amazing, you guys. Pick this up if you haven't seen it already. So thank you so much for checking out today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give the video a thumbs up if you did. If you're new, please subscribe, click on the bell button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great one. See you.